What is hearsay evidence and how is it challenged? Imagine someone telling a story about what someone else said or did outside the courtroom. That's what hearsay evidence is all about. It's an out-of-court statement used to prove what the person said or did. But why does the law treat this kind of evidence carefully? Well, because the person who made the original statement isn't there to be questioned or cross-examined. This makes it hard to know if what they said is true or reliable. Hearsay is not just spoken words. It can also include written statements or even gestures that are meant as an assertion. For example, if a witness says, "John told me he saw the defendant at the scene," that's hearsay. The witness is repeating what John said outside the courtroom to prove John's presence. The main reason hearsay is often not allowed is that the court can't check if the original speaker was honest or if they had any reason to lie. But there are exceptions. Sometimes hearsay can be admitted if it falls into certain categories. For example, if someone makes a statement during or right after a shocking event, it's called an excited utterance. Because they are under stress, they are less likely to lie. Another exception is a statement against the person's own interest. If someone says something that could harm their legal or financial situation, it's less likely to be false. Admissions made by a party involved in the case are also often allowed because they are considered more trustworthy. Challenging hearsay in court usually involves raising an objection. The lawyer will say, "Your Honor, that's hearsay and not allowed," or cite an exception if they believe it applies. The judge then decides if the statement qualifies as hearsay and if any exception makes it admissible. Sometimes, lawyers argue that the statement isn't really being used to prove the truth of what it says. Instead, they might say it's just to show what the person heard or their state of mind, which isn't hearsay. Another way to challenge hearsay is to point out that the person who made the statement is available for cross-examination. If they are present, the court can ask them questions directly. Also, prior statements made by a witness, like a previous version of their testimony, can sometimes be used to support or challenge their current statement. Understanding how hearsay works and how to challenge it is important for lawyers. It helps protect the fairness of the trial and makes sure only reliable evidence is considered. The rule about hearsay keeps the process honest by preventing statements that can't be tested through questioning from influencing the outcome. In simple terms, hearsay is a statement made outside the courtroom used to prove what it says. It's usually not allowed because it can't be tested for truth. But with specific exceptions, it can sometimes be admitted. Challenging hearsay involves objections and legal arguments about whether the statement should be allowed or not, based on its purpose and reliability.